Cheesy the Podcast, presented by Just Cheesy Productions.
Hi there, I'm your host Fondue. In this week's episode, we're going to talk a little bit more about the great cream cheese shortage of 2021.
Oh no.
We're going to learn how cheese can protect your teeth.
What?
We're going to learn about a cheesy nativity. We're going to learn about cheese discharge.
Ew.
And we're going to hear a very cheesy joke. Stay tuned for our Christmas episode of Just Cheesy the Podcast. So cheesy, it seems like we're still in a bind with this cheese debacle.
Did you mean a rind?
No, I did not, Cheesy. It looks like a lot of the major news outlets have finally got our story, Cheesy.
Better late than never.
So in the first week, we heard about bagels and cream cheese.
Yep,
Then we heard about Junior's cheesecakes.
that's right. What's next?
And now, according to the Detroit Free Press, this cream cheese shortage has actually hit a local pierogi maker.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah. Right on the cusp of Vigilia.
What's that?
Vigilia is the traditional Christmas Eve vigil supper in Poland, and it's held on December 24th. This supper is traditionally meatless, as abstinence is required and should comprise 12 distinct dishes in memory of the 12 apostles. This is according to Wikipedia, and one of those 12 distinct dishes is pierogi. According to Detroit-based Patrizik Pierogi, they didn't have any shortage of cream cheese at all, and then all of a sudden, for a week straight, there was no cream cheese anywhere.
Wow.
And Drew Gear over at Little Pierogi and Crepe Kitchen in Wyandotte said the shortage hasn't affected his business yet, but if it does, 2/3 of that restaurant's core menu, pierogies, crepes, and soups, would have to bear the brunt. They go through 30 pounds of cream cheese every 2 weeks.
That's a lot of cream cheese.
And in order to stave off some of the problems with cream cheese, our buddies at Philadelphia Cream Cheese said this in a statement. And this is according to Thrillist.com. But they said,
What'd they say?
They said unprecedented demand has left cream cheese shelves in grocery stores noticeably empty as people continue to use cream cheese as an ingredient in easy desserts and recipes and at breakfast time.
Okay, so what?
There's more. So they said, so buy any dessert, cookies, brownies, cupcakes, and Philadelphia will reimburse the cost to replace your homemade cheesecake up to $20.
What? Wow. I want to know how to get in on that.
Well, you'd be too late, Cheesy.
Aw, that's too bad.
It was only at noon on the 17th and 18th, and so we missed it. But there was a limited number of 10,000 and 18,000 reservations available on those respective days. So over 28,000 people were able to get a digital reward of $20. And there was even a website created for this called Spread the Feeling. And what Philadelphia said was, if you can't spread the Philly, spread the feeling.
That sounds like something cheesy we would say.
Yeah, so many reasons they should be a sponsor. And if they were, they would listen to this. Just Cheesy the Podcast is sponsored by Just Cheesy Productions. This week, a new song drops by Just Cheesy. It's called It's a Cheesy Christmas. It's going to be an automatic Christmas classic. Now back to the podcast. Here we are again, my favorite segment.
This week in cheese.
So this seems a little bit new to me, but dentists are weighing in on the value of cheese.
Okay.
According to the UK's Daily Mail, there is a doctor named Dr. Khaled Kassem, and he is a chief orthodontist at Impress. He says that you should brush your teeth 3 times a day during this time because there's a rise in sugar intake.
Makes sense.
He also says that blueberries and apples are great snacks to prevent gum disease.
Yeah?
But where we're interested is obviously cheese.
Oh yeah, cheese. Cheese.
Dr. Kassem says there's nothing that screams Christmas more than enjoying a hot mulled wine whilst walking around the markets. And like red wine, mulled wine is known for giving our smile that purple glow. So to avoid this, your best bet is to pair it with cheese.
Oh my gosh. Did a dentist just recommend eating cheese with wine?
Yep, he did. He said cheese is not only full of calcium, but it can protect your teeth from stains. I'm pretty sure this is the best cheese news all week.
Oh yeah.
My next story is a little bit older. It's from 2015. According to the website Slate, there was a British woman who carved the world's cheesiest nativity scene from 88 pounds of cheddar.
Holy cow.
No doubt. Christmas has had its fair share of other crushes out of food, such as gingerbread and chocolate in the past, but this was the first one ever out of cheese. The artist's name is Prudence State. She said that sculpting the world's cheesiest nativity scene took 5 days. She made a manger, a Mary, a Joseph, a baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus?
Absolutely not. I said baby Jesus. So Prudence included all of those things and everything else you'd find in a typical nativity scene from mature cheddar. And the wise men were bearing the gift of Branston pickle relish, a typical British cheese accompaniment.
Wow.
Prudence created this by hand in her workshop, and it was 16 inches by 6. She treated the cheese like clay, and she sculpted it with tools of the trade, such as sharp knives and metal loops. She grated offcuts in a food processor before blending them together to form unified lumps of cheese. She says she worked the fine details, such as the facial features of the baby Jesus, with a magnifying glass and a toothpick, and she refrigerated the well-worked cheese sculptures to help them firm up for display.
Holy cow.
You can check out the making of it on slate.com, and it's called Cheese Nativity. It's a really good short video. Prudence was a formally trained artist, and she got bored with it and wanted to make food art.
So I guess that's a thing.
Evidently so. I promised in our intro that I was going to talk a little bit about cheese discharge. Yep, it's pretty bad. There's an article in the BBC.com, and it talks about a factory where Cathedral City cheddar cheese is made. So this cheese factory poisoned fish with the discharge that ran into nearby rivers.
Oh, that is not good.
No, it's not. They talk about 11 charges admitted by the firm related to contravening environmental permits with discharges of wastes into the River Inny. The charges refer to biological sludge as well as suspended solids and partially treated creamery effluent.
Oh, that's so much.
2 offenses relate to the permits on odor.
Odor?
People living near the plant said in 2018 that their lives had been blighted by the foul smell from the plant that kept them awake at night and gave them headaches. In another article, they described the smell as a pungent, fishy stink,
Phew.
wafting from the creamery during the night, and it's making them feel sick.
I'm out. It's time for a joke.
You got it, Cheesy. This week's is a Christmas joke. Why did baby Jesus like Swiss cheese the most?
I don't know. Why?
Because Swiss cheese is very holy. Get it? Very holy.
You're so silly, Fondue.
No, I'm not silly. I'm a little bit cheesy. Thanks for joining us on our Christmas edition of Just Cheesy the Podcast. Join us next week for episode number 7.
Merry Christmas, everybody.